Alright, so I'm back, and today we're going to be taking a look at the TransArt. This is their Transmetal 2 Cheetor. Which they have called Blade Leopard Shadow. Blade Leopard Shadow. Alright. I don't know why they call it Blade Leopard Shadow. They should have just called it Blade Leopard and then repainted it into the Triperdicus agent and then called that the Shadow. But hey, whatever. Whatever I know. I'm just a Beast Wars fan that's been collecting probably longer than this business has been in the business. But anyway, so here he is in his cat mode. And yes, I will be doing transformation. It's a little fidgety, but overall it's super simple. Anyway, I've got a couple little mini rants to do in this video while we're going, but so first off, his tail is that bendable wire rubber. I hate it. I think it looks awful. I mean, I guess it looks okay, but the colors don't quite match. But also with, rubberized plastic, it usually doesn't hold paint very well for very long. It usually gets sticky and gummy. But also, they didn't paint it very well. So, like, you can see paint slop all over it. It's just not well done. I would have preferred a hard plastic tail, even if it was a stoic tail like the original toy was. But I also don't see any reasons not to put like a ball joint here, and give it a little playability. But also, like, you can see like the weight of the tail is kind of pulling it out of the socket too. So it's like it does rotate at the socket just because of the way it kind of plugs in, but it's really not. It's not a great connection there. Speaking of things that aren't great connections, the torso here, nothing really clicks into place. So it's just kind of held together with hopes and dreams, and it just feels rickety would be a good word. Just not built well would be another good phrase. Yeah, but so yeah, the gun does detach. We'll take that off. It doesn't really tab in like the original one. Like the handle would click in, and you could rotate it up and down, and then it would just lay flat. This one just kind of frictions in this little cavern, I guess. It just frictions in around this kind of silvery part here. So you just take it and just clip it in, and it just kind of holds it. Can we do it backwards too? Yes, you can do it backwards. Speaking of the gun, it's got this nice red chrome there. It does look good. Silver paint. Excuse me. And then it does fire, which I hate. I don't... it's like... As a kid, I didn't really like firing missiles because they just it was undependable that they would stay in there. But as an adult, I really don't like them because it's like these are adult collectibles. I'm not gonna sit there and go pew 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 with people, and it's not even a very powerful missile anyway. So yeah, these do rotate down for transformation, so you can have like a little clawed bottom there. So. Yeah, there's that. Alright, now, posability in this mode, the cat head has a hinge, or it's actually like a triple hinge or whatever, and a swivel. So it rotates up there. The head itself is on a ball joint, so you left and right. The mouth, I believe, opens, but I can't get my finger in there to pry it out. Let's see here, do I have something I can use? Let's try this. There we go. So yeah, it does open and close, so that works. He's got the red eyes. In the packaging, orange eyes, I'm sorry. He also does have these stickers that you can place onto his eyes, if that's what you want to do. So big ones for the cat head and little ones for the robot head. I think they should have painted it if they were going to do it. Alright, so shoulders are on swivel and they hinge in and out, so kind of like a butterfly. Swivels up and down. There's a bicep swivel in there as well. Elbow swivels, hinges up and down, wrist swivels and hinges in and out. And then it actually does have another swivel in there, so you can get it to go like up and down and in and out. This piece does fold up, so you can get a little bit more range there. We'll talk about the hands more in bot mode, just because it'll be easier to show off, but the thumb just kind of folds up underneath. The original toy had a hinge that was right in the middle, so it would flip all the way to the other side, so the thumb would be on the inside again. But in this one, it just folds up and hides. I don't know. Alright, it got an ab crunch on the inside of the torso, and then another one at the back. This one's a little on the looser side. Kind of wish that was a little bit tighter. Swivels, hips rotate up and down. There's a little bit of a thigh swivel. Butterflies out to the side. Swivels at the leg, hinges at the knee, hinges at the back part of the backwards part of the leg, and then there is a universal swivel here, and then hinge here, and then a rocker here, and then each toe is a ball joint, but because of the way it's kind of plugged in, you basically are just getting a like little swivel into the claws. So yeah, as far as the cat mode goes, it's definitely the weak link of the modes here, and there's not too much different between this and the robot mode. The robot mode does come out a little bit better, but yeah, it just doesn't hold together very well, and it's a shame because I would have liked to have, it's one of those, like, with most of these Beast Wars, I've toyed with the idea of having a second collection of their beast modes, because their beast modes were a pretty iconic part of the show. It was like the stark contrast for me from Beast Wars to, like, say Transformers Prime. Whereas Transformers Prime, it's like, oh yeah, Optimus turns into a truck, but that's really just to get him to from point A to point B, and then he was back to the robot. Whereas in the show, like, there's the first time you see this mode, he's stuck in this mode and like just running a rampage out. It was a pretty good little episode, especially him hidden in the shadows and all that stuff, and then him coming to terms with that he's been altered by this Megatron's Transmetal 2 driver. So it's like it was a very centric part of the show, is him being stuck in the beast mode for the episode. But yeah, it's like it's like they really put more focus on the alt modes, and it's just like, it would have been nice to be like, oh yeah, I could have a whole collection of these. But most of them don't work very well in their beast modes. It's just like, there's not very many that I actually think look good as opposed to the robot modes. Like, Primal looks amazing, and Megatron looks pretty good. I think the Dinobot was alright. But like the Black Arachnia, for example, is trash. They just didn't do a very good job. A lot, and that's just all the companies. They just didn't do a good job with the beast modes. Anyway, let's get them transformed. So you take these hinges here and you flip those out. Get those out of the way. Rotate the legs down and straighten them out, just like that. And when I say there's not a lot to this transformation, I really mean it. You flip these chest pieces out, and then this will rotate back, and from here you gotta get the robot head out the back, like that, and then we've got to get the cat mode in, which I believe we rotate this around and then fold this down like this, and then like this, I believe. You know, it was one of those. It would also be very helpful if we had instructions. Like, dear God, let's give me instructions on toys. You know, a lot of these TransArt ones don't need instructions because they're so similar to the old Beast Wars. But at the same time, you know, if there's a fidgety little bit, I don't want to have to go download the QR code and look it up. It's just annoying. And this transformation this part is just like, what? Like, there's a certain way the cat head needs to go in to the torso. Finger popped off. We'll fix that in a minute. See, I don't think this is right, because these have to close up around it. And yeah, that's not quite right there. Let's see. Still not right. I messed with this for so long last night. I'm like, how does this go? I don't have instructions. Like, what do I do here? It's just there's just one way for it to fit in there, and I got it this morning, and now I can't remember how I did it. I don't think we rotate anything, do we? The problem is it just doesn't really want to fit. It's just annoying. All right, well, let's give this QR code a try. Let's see here. Please scan code video first to watch commentary video. And then it's got like the state of beast mode inside robot chest. Okay, so we've got let's see here. So this way, right? And I think I did that the exact way it says to do it. See? Alright. And then it doesn't work right. Nope. See, it just doesn't want to. Good lord. Like, seriously, this should not be this fucking hard. See, it's like you get it straight, but the back won't lock in. And then that won't lock in. Like, what the fuck? Alright, let's see here. English instructions. There we go. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, these are some really great English instructions. Yeah. What is this? No, I do not want to download a bunch of files from a random site. Okay, so yeah, see, that's the thing that pisses me off about shit like this. It's like, here's instructions, and it goes to a fucking page like that. So those are fucking worthless. It just pisses me off. Like, seriously, just include instruction in your goddamn toy. I spent over $100 on it. You can spare the 5 cents for a piece of fucking paper. I'll sort it out later. And then, so the chest pieces lock into place like that. And arms tab in up there like that. Rotate them around. Straighten them out. So yeah, if you have problems, it's just on a ball peg. Just take it off. Set it off to the side. Thumbs come out. Straighten that out. And then we can reattach that finger that fell off. Alright. Same thing over here. Just like that. And there he is in his robot mode. And he looks great. He looks just like he did in the show. I have zero issues with this mode outside of the transformation. That's a whole different story. He retains pretty much the same articulation. So you get the shoulder rotates around, up and down. There's a bicep swivel, works pretty well. Bends at the elbow, rotates. Wrist, hinge, swivel here, hinge here. So you get all the way around. The back piece does move out to the side, so you can get even further range. The thumb is on a hinge here that rotates up and down. There's a ball joint here, which gets it in and out and swivels. And then there's a hinge at the thumb. So he's got pretty good range of motion on that thumb there. Each finger has a ball joint, and then and they also have a swivel in the middle. All of that works exceptionally well. Waist swivels, hinges, extreme ab crunch. I really wish it would have been a little bit tighter or ratcheted, just to give you a little bit more stability there. Legs like before. Hinges up, down, out to the side. There's a thigh swivel. Bends at the knee. Swivel above the knee. Hinge here, more for cat mode. Hinge here, rocker, and then the feet. Now the tail will just plug back in. It just needs a little coaxing. There we go. And then the head is on a ball peg, so you get left and right, a little side to side, and then the mouth does open, and he's got some nice sculpted in teeth there. Looks great. It's a great looking piece. once you get him into robot mode. The cat mode looks fine, but the robot mode is where it really shines. Alright, so we can take this and take this down. We'll plug it into his hand. He does hold it pretty well once you get in there. It's very fidgety to get it in. As you can see, there's not a lot of wiggle room in here. But it does tab in very securely. You can wrap his clawed hands around it, and there you go. Yes, it looks funky and disjointed because of the weird claws that he's got going on, but that's actually kind of how it looked in the show too, so... You know, he had a very awkward look to him when this happened, and it's just like kind of essential to the character. He's almost like a Frankenstein type monster. This does fold up to reveal the little green spot there where his Maximal logo would be. You know, unlike the Optimal Optimus, you know, he doesn't have it sculpted on. This guy is not a KO. I had the original toy. I had 3 different versions of him. I think there was the yellow one, there was the black one. I want to say there was like a bluish one. I could be wrong about that. But I had I had at least 2 copies of him, and I absolutely enjoyed the crap out of the figure just because of the way it looked. Now, the first thing I want to stress on my irritation, you know, is the transformation on this. And the transformation on a lot of Cheetors in general from this point on in Transformers. Now, obviously these aren't the original versions of them, but here's the Transmetal Cheetor, also from TransArt. Now, the way he's designed, the back legs become his robot legs, okay. The arms became part of the torso of the cheetah, and the hands become the head. And then the back legs of the cheetah fold up onto the back, along with the whole back piece. It's like there's more to his transformation, you know, than just arms become arms, legs become legs. And then we have like the original Cheetor, where again the back legs go to the back. These became part of his torso, and then these would actually become his back legs. But there was more to the transformation than just rotating them around. Well, not on the original toy, but it's like most of the Cheetors since the Transmetal 2 came out have all been pretty much the same. You flip the cat head into the torso, and you flip the robot head out, and then sort it out, and that's it. And it's like I said, that's just been an annoyance to me. It's like you can't figure out one more fucking thing to do with this thing. It's just irritating. The next thing I want to say about this particular figure is the weight. He is super light for his size. I don't normally do this, but let's... I've got a scale here. Come on. Alright. We're at 0. Alright. Okay, now we're at 0. Alright, so original Masterpiece Cheetor is 3.8 ounces. So we're going to call it 4 because he is missing his other gut. So about 4 ounces. The TransArt Transmetal Cheetor, 8.5. And he's missing his tail, but we'll still just call it 8.5. So he's over twice the weight of the original MP. Now this guy, as you can see, is significantly bigger. You can actually see in the reflection here, so there you go. He's significantly bigger than the Transmetal or the original. And he comes in, and we'll put the head on there. 7.5. He's 1 ounce lighter. He's 1 ounce lighter than this figure that he's towers over. So, and part of that is he has no die cast and he has no hardware. There's not a ratchet in him. There's no die cast. Like let's see here. Does he have ratchets? I don't think he does. But he's so little, he didn't really need them, right? Yeah, no ratchets in him. Does he have ratchets? Yeah, he's got ratcheted hips. And he's got die-cast legs. Like these whole pieces down here at the bottom are die-cast. It gives it a nice weight at the bottom. I think all of their figures had die-cast in them since they started. This guy has no die-cast at all. And not a ratchet to be found. And he could use a few ratchets. And he could have used some die-cast. Like, he could have made these die-cast that would put a nice weight at the bottom. Or like these pieces here could have been die-cast. Just to kind of give him a nice weight at the bottom there. But yeah, it's like, oh, and this really could have used a nice ratchet in there, just like, you know, click, 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 click. Because I mean, that would have been as it now. I mean, I don't really want to mess with it too much, just because it's so light or loose. And it's like, you know, for having such a simple transformation too, it's like you should have been able to figure out how to make this a little easier to fit in. And the last thing I want to say about this figure, not this figure, but this company, is they make no sense to me, like at all. I try to wrap my head around them as best as I can. Let's see here. I'm just going to pull them up on Chosen Prime. If it'll load. Okay, so okay, so they did the Primal, and then they did the Cheetor. They did Transmetal Rat Trap. Now the Rat Trap is getting a number of repaints. So like, we've got this one, which was like the Walmart version, I believe. And then I don't know where this one would be from. Let's see here. Their Primal, the Optimal Optimus, he got this repaint, he got this repaint. Yeah, it's just, some of these guys are getting some weird random repaints. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, why though? You know, it's like, I would love to get some repaints that actually make sense. For example, this one. I would love to get the Armada repaint of him, because it was a great repaint. It was black and orange. It just looked really cool. I would also love to get, you know, because he was retooled into the Ravage, I would also love to get the Tigertron from the Ravage. The Optimal Optimus, for example, I would love to get a repaint of him, but do it with the resculpt the head so it's got the Megatron head from Beast Machines, because at the end of Beast Machines he took over that body, but he took out all the gorilla parts, so that would be a cool like little side things. Let's see here. I think the Primal the regular Transmetal Primal got a repaint into Ape Link for a BotCon, so I would like to see that. I'm just like looking at the shelf. The Transmetal Black Arachnia, or Transmetal 2 Black Arachnia, sorry. I would love to see that as repainted as the RC. And then the Megatron, there was also an Armada Megatron called Predacon, who's like green and brown. I would love to see a repaint of that. And then, like I said before, Triperdicus, the Triperdicus Agent, which was essentially the Ravage version of this. I would love to get that. I would absolutely love that on the shelf. And it's just like, I'm probably not going to pick up any of the Rat Traps. Maybe the Walmart exclusive. I have no idea where the other one came from. But maybe that one, and that's probably it of all the repaints that they've done so far. And it's like, man, you guys really need to remember that the bread and butter of Transformers is repaints. That's why so many people do the Seekers. It's like, you do the one Seeker and you get at least 2 repaints out of it. So you have Starscream, Thundercrack, Skywar. You make your money on the repaints. You break even on the mold, the first mold, and then you make your money on the repaints. And then with the Seekers, like, you can just go hog wild and just do dozens and dozens of different colors and then retool them to the Coneheads. Anyway, frustrated. Back on topic. So as far as this guy goes, my biggest problems are he doesn't have diecast, so he's a very light figure for being the size that he is. Being lighter than this smaller figure is just weird. Because he's so light, he kind of feels cheap. The plastic feels good, but it's light and hollow, so it feels cheap. Like their Transmetal Megatron. He's pretty big and durable. Got a nice weight to him and looks good. But because the plastic's so thin and hollow, that it kind of comes off as a cheap feel. Let's see, who else? What else? No hardware. No ratchets. I think that's almost unforgivable, especially like if it's a smaller figure, I can get it, like the MP Cheetor. But for a bigger figure like this, I think we need some ratchets. The transformation should have been a little bit simpler, considering it's super simple to begin with. Like, they just need to figure out how to fold that head in the torso a little bit better. I got it to work last night. I couldn't get it to work today. I just didn't want to sit here and fiddle with it for 20 minutes. And the fact that you don't have fucking instructions. It's getting really old. It's getting really old. I didn't get instructions with him. There were no instructions with the Make Toys Seekers, like the Coneheads. I mean, yes, I know how to transform them, but that's not the point. The Blitzwing didn't have instructions. Fans Toys instructions were in the reverse order for the tapes. It's just like, come on, sort your shit out. Like, it's not that hard. There's always going to be at least one piece of transformation that's going to be like, maybe this, how does this fold up? I had to look at pictures to figure out how to do the hands on this guy. And to find out, you just fold the thumb up and just pretend they're not there. Let's see, what else? I think the tail's cheap. I do not like the rubberized tails. I think it's a poor choice. At this point, time, it's like, how much was he? Let's see, how much was he? He was $110. So $110, I would expect a little bit more. But I would gladly spend $130 if I had a solid plastic tail with ball joints or swivels or something like that. I would gladly pay more for that. I would have gladly paid $170 if he had that and some hardware and some diecast in it. I would pay more for a better quality figure, is what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that he's bad quality. I'm just saying, like, just a better presentation. He looks great. Like, the paint job on him is fantastic. All this metal with the black washes in it. The brown, or the orangish color with the brownish, like, it's almost like molded in spots. It's really, really cool effect. You know, stuff like that, like, man, they did such a good job with that, but then they kind of phoned it in with the build quality. It's just like, what the hell? All in all, though, because we've been talking about this for almost 40 minutes now, it's a great figure. I do recommend it. If you're a Beast Wars fan and you're in for, you know, want to, you know, get every character that was in the show, he's a must. He looks great. He feels cheap, but he, like, it's really hard to say. Like, the plastic feels good, but it feels hollow. All in all, it's a good figure. I do recommend it. I give him despite everything I just said, I give him an 8 out of 10. It's a really, really good offering from this company. And it's actually kind of a breath of fresh air from their Rat Trap and their Black Arachnia, which were fidgety, and the Black Arachnia broke, and they can't stand up on themselves because they're so back heavy. You know, he doesn't have those issues. Yes, I would like this, and this, but at the same time, it's nice to have this quality piece come out from them, and like I said, like, these spots just look so freaking awesome. Like, I don't know how they did that. I would be very interested to know, like, if this was just something that they mixed in with the plastic and it's just kind of coming out that way. Because I don't see them painting it like that. It's so interesting looking. It's just, yeah, I just don't know. I don't know how they did that. It's a pretty cool effect, you know. And then the chrome, and the silver with the black wash, it looks really good. It has its issues, like all our Beast Wars figures do, but it is one of their better pieces in a while, and kind of puts them back on the map for me a little bit. But I still would love to see that Triperdicus agent. Give me that, and we're golden. We're back on top, TransArt. You know, give me Triperdicus agent, and I will be your friend forever. And also, give me more fucking Predacons. I know their Tarantulas is up for pre-order, so hopefully that'll be soon. And I know they're working on the Dinobot 2. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, I would love to get more Predacons for my shelves. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of them. And now, I also kind of want to see a depth charge and a rampage. Like, let's get on this, guys. Let's get her done.